this computer. And we're recording. So this is review of Calumet 8-year, small batch, 45%. Let me see, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is, I've had something from them before, but I don't know if they're their own distillery or if this is, if this.
I would take this down for a rye, not a bourbon, if I did a blind.
It smells like straight peanuts to me, like a bag of peanuts with oaky cinnamon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the
peanuts.
cinnamon, yeah, it's very obvious. I haven't got the peanuts yet, but I'll be looking for it.
The peanuts are really heavy to me. If this is sourced, I would say it's Jim Beam, because Jim Beam is has that uh characteristic peanutty taste to it.
I get what Kyle's saying about that, the rye.
Like, what is it about this that screams rye to you guys? Because I don't
know,
get
like
this from this.
Like usually with bourbons, I get the bourbons a lot of times can smell very similar. I mean, me personally, I get a lot of like banana, toffee, caramel. This one doesn't really have it. Whereas the ryes, I find like if we're having, I don't know, a rye for instance, the one that Yukon, what's that Yukon one?
Two Brewers?
Yeah,
It was not a rye.
Oh, is that right? Okay, but anyways, ryes in general, they just have a more, I don't know how to say it, but there's just a certain distinction that I get, anyways, just because bourbons, for me, a lot of them, I got banana smelling on them, and this one, I get none of that. Maybe it's the peanut, like you're saying, like I like that note. Maybe it's the peanut that's doing it for me, that's making me think it's a rye. But
I just got a nice little dill pickle, like a Lay's dill pickle, and a hint of juniper.
And I got banana. Kyle mentioned banana. I'm like, now it's like peanut.
There it is.
And banana.
Yeah, no, I've got this really nice like dill pickle, like you're sniffing a bag of chips.
Really? Are you doing the right
pickle,
one?
But the bananas.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I would have expected to be getting, bananas, peanuts, like all the stuff that you're saying. That's really nice.
Dill pickle. Yeah.
I get like dirt, like very like
pretend that you could read that.
No, I could.
Very, like when you're gardening and if your hands are all full of dirt and you haven't washed them yet, but like they're not like full of dirt, but they've got that residue and you can smell like it smells like dirt, not manure or anything, but just like an earthy.
Well, dirt and manure are two different things, Kyle.
No, it's definitely dirt, not manure.
Yeah, no, this is delightful. It's nice. I'm curious about it.
All right, you guys ready to cheers?
Yeah.
Cheers.
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 Cheers, boys.
There are the peanuts.
Oh, now you get the peanuts.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
And initially, I got bubblegum, and then the peanuts.
We're not drinking the same thing.
This is all over the place.
I think I can see where you're going from with bubblegum. Like just right initially, it has more flavors at the end. At the beginning, it's just mildly sweet and gentle. Yeah. And I could see you associating that with like kind of generic bubble gum. But like really it's the peanutty. It tastes the same as it smelled to me, right? It's got an oaky cinnamoniness and then the peanuts.
Maybe it's like, is it salt and vinegar? No, it's dill pickle. It's dill pickle. You still don't get it now that you've like tasted it. You don't smell it on the.
I can't get it. No, I don't. I can't.
I don't taste it. I don't taste it at all. But still on the nose, I still get it.
I could maybe see a little bit on the nose now that I've tasted it, but very faintly. Very. I probably wouldn't have gotten it if you didn't mention it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's yeah. But yeah, it's delicate. You know, I was expecting it to be a bit more punchy. But like you said, Simon, I agree completely. It's got more to offer on the back end. At first,
At
it's
48%, 45%. Yeah, I don't mind this. It's definitely on the gentler side of Kentucky.
kind of
The
reminds me a bit of an Old Forester, just because it's
Yeah.
like it's a really smooth, really easy entry.
Like
And
you're talking
then
about the 86, like
yeah.
the flavors aren't the same though. The 86 has a lot more fruitiness. I get
Yeah, the
no
86 tastes like
fruitiness.
a lot more like red lollipop kind of stuff. But just in the ease of drinking, the
Yeah,
non-harshness, the
in ease
smooth,
of
like,
drinking, I follow. It feels very similar to that bottle 86,
yeah, because like
even if the flavors are different.
the 86 is the same way, like it has more to offer on the back end, you know, than when you introduce it. Um,
the
Um,
um the mouth feel is very watery. My like some are very oily. I find like the mouth feel is very watery. Not that it's dilute, it tastes diluted, but just the way it kind of coats my mouth. It's just very it's not oily at all. I find.
yeah, I think you could probably go as far to say it feels a bit thin, like it tastes a little bit thin.
I just want to say I can kind of reach for those dill notes a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, like there is, I can see it. I can see it. But on the taste, it's like for me, it's like Simon was saying, like the cinnamon really comes through, kind of like the peanuts and all that. But I definitely get a lot of that cinnamon coming through.
Yeah, I got it's on the first sip, tons of peanuts. It's kind of gone away a bit now. Yeah, lots of oaky cinnamon and some like cherries maybe.
You think it's fitting for this time of the season? Like you think this is like one of those cold winter night kind of bourbon, or does it place you anywhere
This is
else?
more of a summer
I would,
bourbon. Like on a good
yeah,
Yeah,
tonight, I want something like, oh, this is like your kind of
if you're not at least in the 50s in the winter in this
yeah,
weather.
yeah.
yeah.
If it's
This
not
is
burning
more of
going
like a
down,
summer day bourbon.
Yeah, if it's not generating the heat for you, then it's not a good winter bourbon.
I feel like I'm getting hydrated drinking this. Like,
Mm,
That's what we come to.
that's a good way to say it.
Yeah. 45% and below, we're hydrating. That's what we're doing.
I don't really have anything else to offer, gents. So, if you want to put some numbers to
yeah,
it,
yeah. So I
um,
started last week. This is technically Sean's pick, so someone else can start.
I
Well,
don't
it's
mind
technically
starting.
Sean's pick actually. He
Oh,
directly picked this with no
Kyle, go ahead.
information.
yeah, I think everything had to be said about it. Yeah, I do think it is definitely a little on the lighter side, but the peanut note is definitely nice. Um, it's easy to drink. It's just probably one that you can have more than one of, like if you're on a campfire in the summer, or just around the pool. Like it's very easy drinking. Um, it's just a little more on the lighter side for me. Bourbons, I like to be a little more heat on it. Not too much, but there's nothing I can complain about other than it is a little thin. So I'll give it an 80. I don't know what the price tag is for this one, but if it was a decent price tag, it'd be a good sipping drink, playing games or whatever. But other than that, it's just it's a decent bourbon.
Yeah, no, that's an important piece of information. The price, we got this on sale, but full price is around $90 out west for this.
Wow, it's
I
expensive.
I was a little
The
less
more expensive
generous
bourbon for
than
sure.
Kyle. I ended up with the 73 on this. I think it's pleasant. I think it's easy to drink. I like the flavors. Really like the nose on this actually. But it's nice. It's smooth. Um, I think it's actually a really good starting. I mean, not for the price point, but it's a good starting bourbon for somebody who's looking to get in. And you know, decent proof, tastes pretty good, but you know, there's nothing special about it. It's just good. 73.
I'm an 81. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It's pleasant to drink. Is nothing really stands out as being very unique to other bourbons. The other challenge I have with bourbons is like most of them are pretty good to me. So it's kind of I feel like it's hard for one to get like they're usually in about the same range in general for me. I think it's well rounded, not bad. I can agree with the summer kind of drink thing, and 81 is where I'm gonna put it.
Yeah, I've been doing some research in the background. These are all everything from Calumet is all sourced. It's sourced from a variety of different places. Obviously, Kentucky Straight Bourbon, they're all in Kentucky. My best guess is this is either beam juice or Barton juice. It just has like those types of flavors. I actually really enjoy drinking this. I don't think it's particularly complex. But I really like drinking it. If it wasn't so expensive, I would definitely like to have a bottle on hand. But yeah, it's not particularly complex. It just comes together very well. And I'm happy to match your 81, Trevor. Been kind of hovering around the low 80s the whole time. It's just well put together. Even though it's simple and on the lighter side, I very much enjoy it. And at a lower price point, I'd very much like to have a bottle on my shelf. But like $90 is really just so many more bourbons available at much cheaper at half the price, right? That are
You get a Old
that are
Forester Prohibition for that.
you know, like there's countless bourbons that we've rated 85 plus that are significantly cheaper than this. So
Jealous.
for that reason, it's kind of a no for me. It kind of prices itself out, but I do think it's pretty good, and I think we can wrap it up with that. Oh, last thing I wanted to say, this is the mash bill is 18% rye. So for those,
Hey, Kyle, there you go. Vindicated.
yeah, for those two of you that were getting some rye notes, right? You've got like a fifth of this that's actually rye.
Okay.
Well done.
So not crazy.
It's a good catch, yeah.
Do you think
Cut it-
the price is
cut
due
it off
to
there?
small batch?
I would say so.
Sorry?
Small batch anything is expensive. Even small batch beer is expensive.
I'm just wondering for the like what you think the justification for the cost is. You know, it's a rebrand, it's a small batch. Do you think that contributes?
Well, because the materials you're buying, you're probably not buying in bulk. You're buying in a smaller quantity, so you're going to get charged more, as opposed to someone like, you know,
Just
Jack
a
Daniels buy a shit ton of whatever. They're going to
yeah,
get
it's
a
just a
smaller
thought.
price.
I think they just brand it that way. Like they just brand it as a more artisanal product, right? Like even it's Calumet Farms, right? If you look at the bottle, the picture on it, you know, they kind of, I don't know. I think it's just marketing, and they price it as per the marketing that they go for. That's my
Yeah, $90. I thought, it's funny. Like you look at bourbons, like what's the very common with I don't know if it's famous, but like I see a lot Michter's. I find those are very expensive, and I've had a couple of them, and I wasn't wowed on them, but they're all like 90 plus. And then you have this one coming in the same amount. If I were to choose between the two, I mean, again, I haven't had Michter's in a while, so they've only had the sour mash and maybe the rye. But it's just interesting how some bourbons can be so expensive, whereas again, Old Forester, it's so much cheaper and so much better, in my opinion. Elijah Craig, Larceny, in the 40, 50 range,
Yeah, you've got some other options. All right, we'll stop the recording.